What's your name? I've got your plate number. Give me your name, I can get it. You're flying a drone over my house. I want to know why. I'll tell you what, guys, these are some crazy times we're living in. I actually caught a guy spying on us yesterday with a drone, and I got everything on video. I'll roll in the video of me confronting him toward the end, but I want to tell you the story. So it was yesterday. It was about 2:30, 3 o'clock or so. We were just finishing up getting the house ready for a real estate showing. I was actually down in the lower pasture filming yesterday's video going over the Minuteman kit. Jack and Jariah were up here just finishing up the last minute things so we could get out for the showing. We have hour times blocked off for people that are looking at the house, thinking about buying it. So I was down there and shooting that, and when I came up to get ready, they were asking me, so did you get some good footage with the drone? And I said, well, I wasn't flying the drone. And they're looking at me like, well, who's flying the drone? And we look up and there's a drone flying all around the house at maybe 150 feet, 125 feet, and had been flying for some time. And Jack and Jariah didn't say anything or think anything about it because they thought it was just me down there flying the drone around the house getting some B-roll footage, which it wasn't. So we're looking at it, I'm like, good grief, what's this all about? You know, I mean, that's, you know, as a drone pilot, you know, I'm very much aware of the laws, and in this area, you know, you can fly over people's homes, but you've got to have a 400-foot ceiling. So when you're down in the 100-foot range or so, you know, that's not okay. That's very much a violation of privacy and very discomforting to me. I thought, well, I'll take care of this. I grabbed my 870 and came out, and by that time it was moving off to the northeast. And we're just standing around, they're like, what in the world is that all about? You know, that's really, really strange. Well, Jack happened to be in the upstairs window and gave him a different vantage point. He was looking down to the north and he saw a white Nissan Xterra parked down just off the corner of our property down there, which is not a parking space, not a place that normally you would ever see anyone parking. I'm like, that's got to be the guy, because that's the direction that the drone flew. Grabbed my radio, grabbed my 870, jumped in the quad and busted down there. Well, I went down to the field and cut over, and I saw him. When I saw him, he was about 200 yards away from me or so, and he's flying the drone, right? This is the guy. So so the road comes down past our house and turns to the right, and then there's a little turnout there where you can turn around, and he's in there facing the east. So I'm like, well, I want to talk to this guy. I want to find out what he's doing. You know, this is really, really bizarre. He shouldn't be doing this. So I took the quad and he saw me coming and he started up his vehicle, and I tried to pull the quad in front to block his passage. Well, he just gunned it and spinning tires and gravel and everything, like really in a hurry, and gets around me, and I couldn't stop him. So I'm going, I'm following in, and I come up alongside of him, and he's coming up the road in front of our house, and I'm moving over, you know, and I'm pointing to him to pull over because I want to talk to him. And I don't know, why are you flying a drone around my house, right? I don't even know who you are. Anyway, I just had that side by side and didn't have the speed or power, and he overpowered me and headed to the south and was gone, right? So I tried to remember his license plate number, and I had about half of that. Pulled up here, and we were all discussing it, like, good grief, you know what? Trying to figure out what this was all about. You know, if the guy was not doing something suspicious, it would have, you know, he could have spoke to me. But the fact that he took off the way that he did, and I think that he left his drone. I think his drone was hovering somewhere, and he didn't have the ability to get it. Now, with hindsight, I'm thinking he probably went up the road, made sure no one was following, and maybe flew his drone back up there, or who knows what. So, anyway, kind of scratched my head about that, and we loaded up, and we had an hour to kill. So I thought, well, let's go into town. I was going to take the kids down there and take them out for some lunch while we were showing the house. Who do you think passes us about 3 miles from the house, but that same white Xterra heading back to our house, right? Which is now vacant and empty, and no one's there. Man, I whipped it around, and this is where I'll start splicing in some footage. Jack got a couple pictures. I was trying to get him to get a license plate for me so we could find out who this guy is, and is he dangerous? You know, I don't know. I mean, we're exposed people on the internet, high profile people, and you know, we have to deal with these sort of things, and I react pretty strongly about this because I just don't know. You know, I don't know what's going on, and in these particular times, you know, it's troublesome, and it definitely worries Mrs. W. So I turn around as fast as I can. I'm in the van, and I'm trying to catch up with him. and I see him. I finally, after about a mile and a half or so, I see him, you know, maybe a quarter mile ahead of me, turning around a corner. I'm like, okay, we got him. We're gonna get close enough where at least we can get a plate number. We no more come around that corner, and he spun a U-turn, and now he's coming back at me. So he passes us again, and we get his plate number here, which I'm not going to show you, but I'll show you the car. So I whip around again. He turns off on a gravel road, and now I'm behind him, and I'm following him. I'm thinking, you know, what I'm going to do? You know, I want to talk to him. I want to know. I want an explanation, is what I want. You know, if he's not up to anything, that's fine. But why are you flying anyway? Fortunately, there was a car in front of us, or a truck that was going really slow on this really windy gravel road, and there's no place you can go. There's a cliff on one side, and I got up, and anyway, I got him to stop. I come up behind him, open the door, and then I'll roll in the video here. What's your name? Are you flying a drone over my house? Were you flying a Mavic over my house? Why? Why are you flying it over my house? Yeah, I don't believe you. What's your name? I've got your plate number. Give me your name, I can get it. You're flying a drone over my house. I want to know why. I want to know why. No, you can't fly drones over people's house at that elevation. Hey, I'm a drone pilot. I do it for a living. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Don't fly anything over my house, and don't come anywhere near me. Then why are you flying a drone over it? The mountain is north of my house. No. I got your plate number. I'm calling the sheriff's department. I'm going to run your plates. I'm going to find out who you are. Oh, you're going to run my Hopefully plate. You're not illegal. That's great. I got your plate number too, bud. Yeah. It's right there. Take a picture of it. Yeah. So that's basically how it went down. He drove away, and he went his separate way, and we went our separate way, and that was basically it. I've got some friends with the sheriff's department. I'm going to make a call into them today and pass on this information and just kind of tell them what happened. I don't know. I don't know who the guy is. I don't know if he's dangerous. I didn't get the impression that he had any idea who I was in the conversation that we had, but who knows? You never know about people. But why would he be flying something over my house? He claimed that he was using it to look at the mountain, but the mountain is due north of us, and he was flying around all of our buildings. He flew around every barn. He flew around the house. You know, he was looking at everything. I don't know. Makes me kind of glad that I'm moving, but I don't know. What do you think? Is this dangerous? Did I overreact? How can you not overreact when you're concerned about the safety of your children and your wife and your very own home, especially in the light of all the things that are going on right now? So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. Don't come to my house. Don't come around here without having invitation. This has been happening more and more recently with the house being listed for sale, and that's not okay. It's a very strange relationship, because you may have been watching our family and kids grow up on the channel for a decade, and you can kind of get the impression that we're buddies, but we're not really buddies. And could we be buddies? Most likely, yeah. But I don't know you, and I don't know what your motivation is, and I don't think it's cool to be coming to someone's house. I would never do that. I would never consider doing that. I would give people their privacy. If you see me in public, absolutely, by all means, please come up and say hi. We would love to meet you and talk to you, but don't come to my home. I don't want that. And something terrible could happen, and I don't want that to happen. So thanks for watching. Please, more than ever, keep my family in your prayers. May God bless you and your family, and we'll see you guys on the next video.